What if I told you there's a wild swan who rides in car and shops with his human best friend? This is their story. In a small coastal town battered by a fierce storm, Rigo was walking along the devastated shoreline when something unusual caught his eye. Among the debris and fallen branches lay a single, pristine swan egg, violently thrown from its nest by the merciless winds. Most people would have left nature to take its course, but something stirred within Rigo's heart as he gently picked up the fragile, potential life in his hands. It was still warm, Rigo would later recall, his voice breaking slightly. I couldn't just leave it there to die. That decision would change both their lives forever. Back home, Rigo created a makeshift incubator, spending sleepless nights monitoring temperature and humidity. His friends thought he was crazy, but Rigo persisted. Then, after weeks of anxious waiting, tiny cracks appeared on the egg's surface. Rigo watched in awe as a small, grey cygnet fought its way into the world, immediately fixing its curious eyes on the first living being it saw, Rigo. He named the swan Toto. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, their bond grew stronger. Rigo taught Toto to swim in his bathtub before graduating to a nearby pond. The swan followed him everywhere, responding to his voice, coming when called. But Rigo knew that keeping a wild swan confined would be selfish. Despite the pain it caused him, when Toto developed his magnificent white plumage, Rigo made the heartbreaking decision to release him into a bird sanctuary. What happened next defied all expectations. The morning after releasing Toto, Rigo visited the sanctuary, expecting to bid a final farewell. As he approached the lake, a white blur shot across the water. Before he could react, Toto was beside him, wings outstretched in what could only be described as a swan's embrace. It was like he was saying, "Where have you been? I've been waiting for you." Rigo remembers, his eyes misting over. From that day forward, their routine became legend in the town. Every single morning, Toto waits at the edge of the lake for Rigo's arrival. Their reunion is always the same. The swan rushes to greet him, wings extended, neck curved in joy. But what makes their friendship truly remarkable is what comes next. Toto refuses to be left behind. He follows Rigo to the local market, waiting patiently outside while his human friend buys groceries. He's accompanied Rigo to the gym, watching curiously as people exercise on strange machines. He's even been known to ride in Rigo's car, sitting calmly in the passenger seat like it's the most natural thing in the world. Wildlife experts are baffled. This level of bonding between a wild swan and a human is unprecedented, says ornithologist Dr. Marta Jensen. Toto has clearly imprinted on Rigo, but the depth of their connection goes beyond anything we've documented before. Through changing seasons, Toto has remained faithful to their friendship. Even during mating season, when swans typically focus exclusively on finding a partner, Toto still makes time for his daily meeting with Rigo. Their story has become a powerful reminder that love and friendship can transcend species, that connection isn't limited by words or even biology. It began with a simple act of compassion during a storm. One man who couldn't bear to leave an orphaned egg to its fate, and blossomed into something that continues to touch the hearts of everyone who witnesses it. People always ask me what I've taught Toto, Rigo says with a gentle smile, watching his feathered friend glide across the water. But the truth is, he's taught me far more about loyalty, trust, and unconditional love than I could ever teach him.